I mean, honestly, I don't plan on staying on topic because this is a super broad topic intentionally. I just want to have fun with you guys. I want people to meet people. But the topic, quote unquote, that I'm going to be addressing today is sliding into the DMs, which is normally like a dating term. If you're unfamiliar, meaning that you DM someone, direct message. Somebody asked me the other day, what does a DM mean? So I'm like, okay, I guess I got to explain that now because people don't know what DM means anymore. Um, so direct message, when you message someone on social media, what do you do? What does that look like? And I just want to talk about that with you guys. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear the cringy, awkward, weird stories. I want to hear the wholesome, amazing stories. Because believe it or not, I run a meme page on Instagram and Facebook, and we have like about 900,000 followers overall. And we've been doing this since 2012, and we've had so much fun making memes and helping people laugh, and helping remind people that Christians can also have a sense of humor, and we can laugh at ourselves. But we using our platform, people have literally gotten married by sending each other memes and sliding into the DMs, quote unquote, of each other, and just talking to each other based off our silly memes. So I just want to open this up to be like a back and forth conversation between you guys. Raise your hand if you want to share. Oh, yeah, people got married. Yeah, it's true. People have gotten married, like at least a dozen people. But yeah, I'll pose the question again, and then if you want to raise your hand and share. Let's do it like this. How do you like to get attention from people without being creepy or stalkerish on social media? Go ahead and raise your hand. I think that's how that works, and then I'll bring you up, and I'd love to talk with you. Let's see. Anybody? How do you like to get people's attention, whether it be for dating or just introducing yourself to a new person? It doesn't have to necessarily be dating. What are some ways that you like to talk to people, introduce yourself to people on social media without being creepy or stalkerish? I think we got Dan here. What's up, Dan?
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Dan?
Yeah, how's it going?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah. I'm actually I'm pretty hopeless. So I'm just like gonna put my hands up now and just say now I'm not the best example. But like humor's always a good one to break down barriers, right?
Sure.
And it's not always about like you can use dad jokes. That's okay. But like, yeah, just humor's always a good one. Particularly if it's like you're chucking in some like biblical humor, that always goes down well with the current audience.
For sure. Honestly, dude, if I could give you just some advice, you just starting, I think if you were to slide into someone's DM and say, hey, just so you know, I'm really bad at this, I think that would literally break the ice. Like, that's just me. What do you think, Dan?
Well, actually, I was just like really honest with this girl. Actually,
Okay.
I was just like, it's been a few years. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. If this is like really clunky, I apologize, but I kind of like your profile, and it'd be nice to like somehow hook up. No, I didn't use the word hook up. That sounds wrong. But like you could
Uh-oh.
meet up, maybe do an activity or go for coffee or something.
Yeah.
And then like it was like really clunky. There was like about an hour and a half delay until I got a response. So I was like, I've just been a total goofball and screwed it up. But me just being like straightforward and just saying, you know what, I'm actually not very good at this, and it's been a while, actually was actually quite disarming. Is that the right word to use?
I think so. That sounds appropriate.
Just being honest, isn't it? It's just like,
Right.
I'm not Mr. Smooth. I'm like just a regular average guy. And they can read your profile. They can see who you are.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I've heard, okay, Luke said in the chat, meet up sounds more right. So meet up. I've heard some people say link up. Yeah, but the hook.
Yeah. You know when you're telling yourself, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that, and then it's like, I just said that.
Yeah.
That was like the only phrase that I was not going to say.
I appreciate it. I mean, if you're gonna be honest, why not go all the way? Well, hey,
Yeah.
thanks, man. Can I hear? Let me
All
hear
right.
from Gabriel real quick. Gabriel, you there?
One thing, anyone that wants to speak, make sure to unmute your mic. Yep, you got it.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. So fire some questions at me.
So my question for you was, how do you like to break the ice, so to speak, with people and introduce yourself on social media without making it cringy or awkward?
Right, on social media. So would that be on a dating page, or would that be on a list? Like, say when you get a funny Instagram and people are commenting on it, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, let's go with the dating situation at first. Unless you have other situations that you like to use.
Well, on the dating situation, I think that you've got to have the luck in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to have the icebreakers have to match. You've got to have something that a common interest for you to both speak about. And if you don't have that, then it's just like you're forcing it.
Right.
So some people will have better luck than others.
I mean, when I was dating, I happened to have lots of luck. So,
well, there you go. You know what I mean?
Rub it in, why don't you?
Yeah, there's more people that support Barcelona than support Brighton.
Oh man, see, if you start talking football, I'm out of here. I can't hang with you guys. I'm sorry.
All right.
I just have no knowledge. I have zero knowledge. I'm sorry. I know that's like heresy for you guys, isn't it?
Pardon?
It's like heresy for you guys.
No, not really. In the UK, that just don't pay any interest in football whatsoever.
Okay,
can you hear me?
I had no idea. Yeah, I can hear you. I just had no idea. I thought I was
committing
a cardinal sin.
Well, you know what?
Gabe.
I've had a lot of trouble with the dating sites over the years, but in real life, people just say like they don't know how to do it. Like, I just walk up to anyone and I can spark up a conversation, but I'm not trying to hit on them. I'm being normal with them. I'm being friendly, open, and that's the way to be. But there's a lot of people out there that do that, and they do it for bad intentions. So sometimes people get the wrong idea.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I get that.
But on dating sites, I never went to school, so I wouldn't. When it comes to the text game, if you click on my profile right now, you will go, wow, yeah, I'll get you. Because my profile, I've been on this for years and years and I ain't had no luck, you know what I mean? But it's just part of the parcel, you know what I mean? At the right time, everything in its right time, you know what I mean? You can't pick fruits from a tree if the tree ain't even grown yet.
Absolutely.
So when the time's ready, everyone will have their own time. They just got to go with the flow, and that's it.
All right. Well, I appreciate your honesty as well, Gabe. Gabriel, can I call you Gabe?
Yeah, of course, man, of course. But you know what it is? You can't eat raw meat. You know what I mean? So you have to cook the meat before you eat it. So some people want to jump the gun, you know, but they have to do everything in their own time. That's why I know my profile personally, I haven't got good pictures. Like, I've just taken a few selfies. Like, yeah, cool, this is me. I'm not being a catfish. I'm not faking it. You know, people meet me and go, oh, you're better in real life. Cool. But at the end of the day, it's how it is, you know. So you do have to go in and put the effort in. You do have to go out there and make your profile presentable. It's like a CV at the end of the day. It's the new age. So you got to do things that way if you want to make it out there, you know what I mean? And then people will talk to you because people are just normal, but you've got to have that edge, you know what I mean? You know, you're not going to go pick up a boring video game if it's not got any good reviews or anything, you know what I mean? It don't look right. It's got to be the best. You got to do the best you can. You know, you got to put yourself out there properly.
What would you say is the best video game out right now, Gabriel?
Do you know what? I haven't had a video games console since PlayStation 3, and I only had that because my big brother wanted it. I don't actually play video games, but if you're asking me what the best video game is, sorry, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, honestly. I do watch that new Star Wars. I do like watching it.
Yeah.
Have you seen that Winter Warrior? Is it Warrior King, Winter King, or something like that? The new King Arthur. I went to.
I have.
You have?
I don't think I have.
Oh man, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. But the girl in it, the magician, I've been to the pub with her, you know what I mean? She's like part of the group that went to my school, and
know,
cool. So I bump into people all the time. I'm telling you, that is a thing to watch. That's brilliant, you know. But I mean, as again, if you ain't into, you know, like history and like gladiators or that sort of stuff, then you ain't got nothing to talk about regarding that. It's not going to interest them. So you got to have something that common interest that you both find adjacent. Is that the word? Yeah. In line with each other, parallel.
I gotcha. Well, all right, Gabriel, I really appreciate you, the realness. I appreciate you sharing. Let me hear from Stefan, real quick.
See you later. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Hey, can you hear me well?
Yes, is it Stefan or Stefan?
It's Stefan. I'm from Germany, but you can just call me Steve or Steven or whatever you like. So
I'm glad that it's Stefan, honestly. I much prefer that one.
Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to give my 2 cents on the original question, like how to introduce yourself or like get someone's attention.
Yeah.
I personally think there's like 2 different ways depending on the circumstances for me. Like it differs, you know, on Salt than to, I don't know, like Instagram or something. It's because here we know, okay, we're looking for either, you know, some people are looking for just friends or Christians to talk to and whatever. And many people obviously look for a date. So, yeah, I think there's a difference in the approach. Not in regular social media, I often try to just kind of give the people an impression what I'm all about. Like I post stuff that I find interesting or funny or things I'm doing or researching right now. So yeah, it might be something either political or tech related or I don't know, something like for social relevant topics, which I don't know, have piqued my interest lately. So it's or a meme or something of that matter. So that's how I try to do it in general, because I think that when you see that people like react to your posts or like them, then you kind of have an idea whether or not you could be vibing with that person. So that's kind of my general idea. On SOP specifically, when we're talking about sliding into DMs, like when I text someone or send an intro, I always try to like pick up something from their profile. Like if they say, I don't know, they play a lot of music or whatever, then I'll ask them something about that and try to, you know, start a conversation with something they've provided. And the 2 things I'm looking for most are obviously some like religious views or like their spiritual life, and then what they do on like a day-to-day basis. So I often ask like, yeah, I really like your profile. You have a very beautiful smile. You seem like someone very chill to be around. And then I'll ask like, can you tell me more about how you spend your time or like this and that and the other thing. So
nice. Very smooth.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
Yeah. Thanks.
I love it. The smile thing is so nice. So I'm curious. I appreciate you sharing too, Stefan. I'm curious to hear from some of the ladies in the audience, because I believe that being the one sliding into the DMs might be perceived as more of like a masculine thing to do. So if you're a lady, I'm curious if you could tell me 1 or 2 things. Tell me what you're looking for when somebody messages you, like what kind of makes you happy, or what tell me something like stories or experiences you've had where you've had good DMs, or tell me something that you do not like when someone slides into your DMs and sends you a message. And you know, feel free to share any stories that you have as well. I'd love to hear it. Preferably not stories that have happened on this app, just in case that person's in the in the actual audience here. But I'd love to hear your take on how the interactions go and some of the things. So any ladies I'd love to bring on that would like to share. Ladies. I think we have 1. Thanks, Matt.
Annie, you're on the mic.
Hi guys. So I do try to put myself out there. I don't think there's any harm in being friendly,
For
and
sure.
I do agree with what he said earlier about you find something about them in their profile. I think that's helpful. So um I think part of it is, certain apps are free and certain apps aren't, and it's kind of like at your own risk as far as like, is anyone in the ether going to see this?
Mhm.
Um, so, yeah, there's nothing wrong in being friendly and having conversation. I think my struggle lately has been like, um, is this person a believer? And if they say, you know, um, oh, I, I'm a good Christian, or I don't know, just some of the things they're saying. Um, yeah, I've just found like lately, like I've been having some good conversations, but like there was one in particular where it was like we're not at all aligned and
Mm.
we're not looking for the same thing, and so yeah, I think you just keep putting yourself out there. There's a lot of people in the world, and I guess also trying to learn not to take it personally, because
Right.
either I think the Lord is protecting you from something or protecting that, like, I might not be someone's best for them, and that's fine. That's okay. Um, I think it is good to be lighthearted. I can be kind of funny, and I mean, I think some of the options out there are a little like limited. Like, there's the one with like a smiling grizzly bear. I would never want to see one, in the wild, but like I think it's kind of funny. Um, and you just never know who's gonna like take that as funny versus, oh, they'd rather have a straight, serious conversation. So I guess no process is perfect.
Right.
But it doesn't hurt to try and just don't feel defeated. Do you know what I mean? Um, so yeah,
That's some good encouragement. That's very encouraging so like luckily I'm old enough where I didn't have to deal with the online dating scene. I shouldn't say lucky. I'm sorry, Matt. But I
All good.
wasn't able I never had an interact like had to, I never had the opportunity to
you can say what you want. It's fine.
to search for people online on a dating app. Um, so I'm not quite familiar with the experience myself, but I hear that it can be a bit discouraging when you've been messaging people, other people have been you message people, you don't quite get the response you want. And it's it can kind of feel lonely. So I do want to address that towards the end on maybe ways that we can get rid of that loneliness and ways that we can maybe find better ways to address that loneliness and find companionship within community. And also I want, but for the most part, I want this call to be about how we can find better tactics and strategies, maybe to be able to interact with people that we don't know, and maybe utilize some of those. I think we've had a couple good examples so far. Thank you for sharing your experience, Annie. Dutiful Dove, I'd love to hear what's on your mind and experiences that you've had.
I'm from Melbourne. My name is Joy.
Hi.
Hello. I think basically not having expectations. Like when you have so much expectations going into messaging someone, and just keeping it light and just being genuine, just, talking to somebody, sometimes putting that pressure on yourself. Like even for myself, I'm getting older in age, and you have expectations where you're like, I'm getting older and this is what, you have a list in your head what you want. Because you've experienced life before. And I think sometimes just taking that load off and going in as you want to meet a person, people, and to see if they're on the same level as you. And sometimes that takes a lot of hard effort by just generally being interested in other people and keeping it light. To be, and as trust comes, then it comes with time and you can just build that up. But you have to really try. that's basically all I can say. It's like, you know, as a Christian, you have to just try. We're never perfect. No one is. Everybody's got a story. And that's what I'm finding. I'm not just going to dating apps. Haven't really tried it. But even speed dating in the Christian world, I haven't tried that either. But next year I'm like, okay, you know, that's what I'm planning on doing. You know, God, this is where you want my heart to be. So I think just taking the pressure off, but you don't have to put all your effort in, just one step at a time. Yeah, that's
Love
what
that.
I think.
I think that's an excellent posture to have. Because sometimes you can come in with these crazy expectations that things are just gonna go, flying off the handle every time you send a message. It doesn't seem like that's always the reality. So you don't want to set yourself up for a disappointment. And as I recall, my friend saying, sometimes you just got to spam a lot of messages and just to try to start to get the conversation going.
I don't recommend that strategy personally.
Can I just add one other thing as well?
Sure.
To that as well. I think even being a female, like, you know, I'm 38, nearly 39, and I think the other thing that we have is, you know, you get older and you're like, you know, time, you know, if you want to have a family and what you have expectation of what, you know, what you have desires. I'm not saying not to let that down with God, you know, that expectation. But I think if you don't put so much pressure on, you know, meeting a person per se, then it doesn't expect that other person to be something that they're not, and you're setting them up to fail. Whereas God can take you on a journey of finding someone beautiful, having a heart, someone's beautiful. Do you know what I mean? And
Right.
I've really had to learn that. I've failed before where, you know, I expect a certain thing and then I set them up to fail. And I have to look in the mirror and go, I don't even measure up to that. So why am I going to expect someone else? You know, someone might not be a certain height. You know what I mean? It's like just those little things. I know it's so silly, but just food for thought.
Yeah, that's so good. And such a balanced view too, Joy. I really appreciate that. And I'm sure that helped a lot of people out that are listening. Anyone else that want to share just their experience that they've had? Okay, we got Devin here. Thanks again, Joy.
Nice.
All right, what's up, Devin?
I don't know if your microphone permissions have been enabled. It looks like you're speaking, Devin, but I can't actually hear you. We'll come back to him.
Okay.
If you're on a try again later, we can just raise your hand, Devin.
Yeah, I don't think you have your microphone enabled. Sounds like the computer
It's all good.
sabotaged him.
He wanted to speak so bad too.
I know.
Oh well, we'll catch you again, Devin. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to not give anyone else permission or opportunity to share. If anybody else has anything else they'd like to share as far as like their experience, things that they've learned when it comes to DMing people, trying to get conversation starters going. I want to share a dad joke. Okay, Michael, go ahead. I want to hear it.
Get up on the mic. Yep.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Make sure to unmute yourself. There you go.
All right. Hi, guys.
Hey.
All right. So I live in Sweden, and apparently, like, dad jokes are a big thing, you know. So here's my dad joke. This is an original, you know, of course, being around people who share dad jokes all the time. I was like, okay. So what do you call a line of Barbie dolls?
A line of Barbie dolls.
Yes.
Oh boy, I'm a little afraid of the answer here. What's up? What do you call
it? It's safe. It's safe.
Okay.
Safe. You call it a barbecue.
Oh no.
I hate it.
That's horrible. I mean, I know that hits better but for an American, they'd be like, "What do you mean by the Q? What do you mean by that one?"
I mean, in Sweden, the worst joke, like the more cringe it is, the better it is. Like that's the point.
All right, I'll tell you one. I can't be the joke guy and not tell a joke. So I'll tell you one. When you're sliding into the DMs, a good way to get the conversation started, you can ask, how much does a walrus weigh? And then wait for them to say, I don't know, what's, and feel very confused. And you say, enough to break the ice. How's it going? You introduce yourself.
Okay.
So bad. Hey, you wanted cringy. You wanted cringy?
It's fine. I'm good.
It was too cringy. Okay. But thanks for sharing, Michael. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks. Yeah. Bye, guys.
All right. I didn't get the last one. Yeah, so Q is a line. So a line of Barbies, Barbie Q.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks
what
for
I mean.
explaining. Appreciate
So I'm just up in the chat.
it. What's a Q?
Because I don't think a lot of people in America, we just say line.
Yeah. We don't have cool words for things.
Yeah.
Should we give Devin another try?
Yeah. What we got, Devin?
See if we can.
Hi, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yay.
Oh, perfect. Hey. Yeah, so I just kind of I would say, yeah, so for today, online dating is a lot bigger. Like, we didn't have online dating 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I would say it's better to say that you met your spouse online than saying you met her at a bar or a club.
Yes.
But to slide into her DMs, a lot of times women just aren't they're not looking to date right now. And it could be a little hard if you try to slide into her Facebook DM or Instagram DM. It would be a little bit better if you tried her, a dating app, but it could still work. Another thing too, if a lady is really beautiful, she has so many people sliding into her DMs. Women they're just beautiful by nature, and so yeah, and I even heard there's this statistic: if a lady's beautiful and if she has a Tinder account, she can gather I think it's 1,200 likes or matches in a day. I think so. That's a lot. So all I'm saying is there's competition basically, and you're gonna have to try to separate yourself. Or so yeah, just I know we're Christians and we don't do Tinder, but all I'm saying is how many choices that a lady has. So another thing too is, so if a lady is beautiful, she knows she's beautiful, and every single day she's gonna have someone in their DMs calling her beauty, or and recognizing that she's beautiful, and she knows she's beautiful. She doesn't need to be told that she's beautiful. So you're gonna have to try to say something else to try to get her attention, and a few things you can and a couple of things. The thing I kind of say if I'm gonna talk to a lady, I'll ask her if you can travel anywhere in the world, where would you want to visit? And that's something different, that, or you can say something else, what is something that you're passionate about in the season, and just kind of leave it at that. Sometimes it does matter too, and something I got to work on my profile, I guess, is you want to have nice pictures, have very good pictures. You want to have a really good bio, just to make yourself stand out, and and it could work and it may not work, it just depends if you can click or not, but God's really good too, and I know he's got something special for everybody, and so
For
yeah,
sure.
I hope that helps. And you just banter is really important. So I think you can make a connection and get to know someone. I think it's important to establish connection, boundaries, and commitment. But just the thing is, just be playful with it and banter, and be friendly, don't be afraid to banter.
Love it. That's encouraging too, Devin. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I still want to hear from some more ladies. Ladies, I'd love to hear from any one of you about, like I said, interactions that you've had, maybe some methods that you use to slide into the gentleman's DMs. I really want to hear from another lady. If not, I'll open it up to more for the dudes again, or whoever just wants to share in general. Go ahead. We got Beatrice. All right. When I said all right, did I sound Aussie? Did I sound when I said that?
No, you sounded American.
All right.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Beatrice?
Hello, good afternoon. I'm from Cambridge in the UK. So I've not really sent many DMs, but I've received some, and some of them were not directly into dating. They were more into business. And
Oh.
sometimes people, yeah, which is weird, like especially on Instagram. Sometimes you have these random people like sending you like DMs saying, "Oh, we seen your profile. You're very passionate about a specific topic."
Scammers.
Yeah,
calling it.
so I tend not to answer to those. But sometimes I've actually had DMs from people saying, "Oh, you know, I like your profile. You seem like a very nice person. It would be nice to get to know you." Only issue is that they geographically live very, very far away. Most of them live like in America, or there's like a huge age gap difference. So it's sometimes very, very hard to like, discern like, okay, should I go for it or not?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Like if you're on an online dating app, I guess you have to be open for long distance relationships if you do open up the maps quite a bit. Yeah, that makes me think a lot.
Salt let you pick your location settings. So you can do really close, or you can do further away if there's no one in your area.
Can you do like a cross country dating? Is that enabled for Salt?
Yeah, in fact, you can set your location to a different country if you want, but obviously it's gonna be like probably not gonna find anyone that you can actually meet up with.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, that's kind of interesting because I'm trying to be more open to, because you never know where the person that God asked for you might be located in the world. Sometimes we think that closer to us is a little bit easier. I don't know. It's difficult because long distance, like no relationship is easy. It does take effort whether you live in the same city or you live like somewhere else. But at the same time, it can be quite challenging if someone is very, 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 very far. I guess it depends where you are in your life as well. If you have the time, I'm a nurse, for example, so most of the time I work very, very long hours. So if I were to meet someone that is geographically very, very far away from me, I will have to consider, different time zones, making sure that when I speak to that person, it's not going to interfere with my work and vice versa. So it could be challenging based on the job that I do, but at the same time, it's been very, very difficult meeting people locally that are Christian. So I feel like I'll have to find a way to be like kind of be more open-minded, to be like kind of like in the middle, but still having some hope that you're not geographically too far away, that it's going to be very, very impossible to see each other and have quality time together, because I feel like quality time is very, very important, and if you don't have that, it's going to be difficult to build like the relationship going forward. So I don't know what people think.
For sure. I think we got something from Stefan here.
Yeah.
Stick with us here, Beatrice, if you don't mind. I have some other questions for you.
Yeah, sure.
Stefan, what's up?
I wanted to ask something different, but if the question is brought up again, I will try to answer it the best way I can.
No, go for it. I'm curious what's on your mind.
Okay, so I just randomly thought, I got very curious about like everyone that's here, why we are dating online specifically. Like I think Beatrice also said it, like sometimes you don't find someone locally, and that can be a challenge. Me personally, I come from a city where there's a lot of churches, a lot of youth groups, and also like student groups and things like that. So Christian ones. So it ain't the problem that there's no people, but I'm personally having other issues. But I'm curious to hear about everyone else, like why they try to find someone on a dating app.
Sure. I'm open to hearing people's stories about that. If anybody wants to share maybe the reason that they're on a dating app. Sure. We got Fulfilled Pelican over here.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey guys. Hi. So me personally, as a 15-year-old student living in the Middle East and Christian, I don't use dating apps like Tinder and whatever, right? But by dating apps, I usually mean like Instagram or Discord or those sort of things, because it is very it is very hard here to find fellow believers or like just people that you can be in a like a proper relationship with, given like my circumstances, because I'm currently doing my GCSEs, which yeah, it's a pretty difficult stage. But yeah, I think that's for like a lot of people my age, that's probably why we resort to things like Discord or Instagram or other things like that.
Yeah.
Yo,
Go
you're
ahead.
young. You're young, dude. You got time. Don't worry
I
about
know,
it.
About to say,
I
you're a
know,
little
I
young.
know.
Matt, what are the age requirements for this?
Well, for salt, you have to be 18.
Wait,
but
what? There's
it
an
looks like-
age? Oh,
no, there is for salt, but it looks like you're coming in from the website. Is that right?
Yeah.
yeah. I'm coming in from
Yeah,
the
that's fine.
Discord, so
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much for
Appreciate it,
joining.
though.
no problem. I just like I heard the bit where Stefan here was asking about the reasons why, and he was like answering to some of the reasons why people do like online searching and whatnot, and I thought I'd just put my input, so that's me.
Sure. No, I appreciate you. You're a good fan, bro. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
One of my memes for Jesusers. I have
Memes
no
for
idea.
Jesus.
I have no like name for my followers. Some people have like, oh, we're the babies, or we're the the
The
momos, or
babies.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like for their
no, don't worry. I know what you mean. Yeah,
for their
of course.
followers. I'm thinking of calling y'all the memiples instead of disciples. The memiples.
The memiples.
Memiples. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I don't know if it's gonna land. Because every time I say it, I cringe. So I'm not
Could
sure.
use some fine tuning, but it's on the right lines.
All right. Well, thanks for joining, man. Beatrice, I did have a question for you that was kind of related to what you were saying. So you mentioned you're a nurse, and I know a lot of people joined online dating or were exploring it more due to the lockdowns in 2020. And so I know since we're kind of in ebb and flow of those the lockdowns, so from what I hear, I guess like maybe this might be more of a personal question, but how was your time being a nurse over there where you're located during the lockdowns?
Yeah, it's been a very difficult period right there, because when the pandemic happened, I was just like a new nurse. I graduated in October 2019 and started working in December. So by the time COVID happened here in Cambridge, I was a nurse for maybe like a month or two. At first, I was very, very scared because obviously new job, a new career, then COVID happened, you don't know what's happening. I didn't know when I was going to see my family again. I'm living in Cambridge, but my family does not live in Cambridge. I'm from Italy originally, so I thought, am I going to see people ever again? And I had so much expectation for that year. I was saving to travel, to go to Italy, hoping to meet someone, and then COVID happened. So I feel like COVID was like a huge, like a block to life in general. So it was very, very difficult. At first, I was not very optimistic about dating because I was thinking of safety. And I know that many people met their respective soulmate during the pandemic through online dating. But first, I was very, very skeptical. And I was thinking, how am I going to meet people if I'm always working at work all the time? I'll have to self-isolate, and I wouldn't want to bring COVID to people because I've been working in COVID wards at the time when COVID was new.
Right.
So it was very, very challenging. And as time went on, I started to be a little bit more open-minded and thinking, actually, if I close myself, I'm never going to meet anyone in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to take a leap of faith and try. I've tried different dating apps around that time, but it was very, very difficult to meet people still, because I feel like as a Christian, I mean, obviously I'm speaking for myself, sometimes very difficult to find people that are on the same page as you, spiritually speaking, in terms of what you're looking for. Sometimes you find people that are looking more for fun, and I was not looking for fun, or maybe I had specific boundaries, and sometimes people were not honoring those boundaries. So it was very, very challenging. And there've been times when actually I have to step down from using dating website because I was realizing that I needed to work on myself a little bit more. And so it's definitely difficult dating as a Christian, as a nurse, because I feel like we work very, very long hours during the day and sometimes the night. And sometimes people don't really get that we don't have much time off. And when you're on the dating website, sometimes you do match with people. They don't reply, they don't text, and sometimes you kind of waiting, not like waiting for them to make the first move. If you do send them a message, they don't reply, and conversation is not going anywhere. So it's been challenging for me.
Right. I get that. Now I was more curious too, because my wife is a nurse as well. And I know that 2020 was just an absolute nightmare for everyone in the nursing field. So I appreciate you as a nurse having to deal with that. And I appreciate the work that you're doing. So thank you for your service.
Oh, no, thank you.
All right,
I mean,
Beatrice.
I've heard so many good stories though, so I'm not losing hope.
Yeah, don't be discouraged. I think and that's what I wanted this to be. I wanted this to be a place where we can talk about good examples, like good tactics and fun ways that we can interact with people and also not be discouraged. So thank you, Beatrice. I appreciate your time. All right. I think we have Dan. It looks like he's been waiting.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about? We got like 15 minutes left. Is there any other topics you wanted to cover, or do you want to keep taking questions, or what do you think?
Yeah, I'm having fun talking with people. I can rant about, if I'm not careful, I'll just rant about like theological topics, and then I will derail this conversation. So it's stayed on topic so well. I don't want to ruin it.
Okay, cool.
I'm like, wow, usually my ADD or my ADHD derails everything and just ruins the whole vibe, but I'm loving it. I'm loving the vibe. You guys are amazing. So Dan, what you got?
Yeah, can you hear? Is that working?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, it was just a quick one, really 10-second throw out there. I literally 4 years ago was doing quite a bit of like online, and what I actually found after about a year and a half was that the people that when I met them in person, matched better with were those that were from the same denomination that I go to. So that was quite a massive eye-opener for me.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh man, I was really trying to stay away from the theological stuff because I love going down that rabbit trail, but that's a good point. You definitely want to have the same theological convictions as the person that you're talking to, which is why I think dating apps are great, because in some way you can identify those pretty quickly because you share the same worldview first off, and then once you get conversation going, you can talk about your denomination, and that shaves off a lot of potential disagreements.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier, because then you don't have you haven't got to break up because you have a different idea about parenting, or you've got a different idea about finances, or just everything just works so much better.
Yeah, great point, Dan. All right, with the next I think we got like 10 minutes left. I guess I'll just talk about theological stuff. No, I'm just joking.
You can talk about whatever you want. It's all good.
Yeah, I'll just say first off, you guys have been wonderful. It's been so fun talking with you guys and hearing your different perspectives. I was really hoping to hear some stories. I wanted to hear at least one story of either an interaction that went really good or an interaction that went really bad. And like, if you have any funny stories, I would love to hear those. Those are my favorite.
Or cringy ones.
Yeah,
make you uncomfortable.
If it makes me uncomfortable, or if it made you uncomfortable, it was just absolutely bizarre. And I'm not talking about the normal like spam DM or just the hey, somebody I think in the chat even said, somebody was like, hey, can we have a prayer meeting in your bedroom? Ew. That was disgusting.
That just sounds like someone that's not a Christian that just was like, ooh, maybe I can pick a Christian girl, go on salt. It's like, no, that's not gonna work, man.
You're gross. You're gross. Yeah, but if anyone has any stories, I want to hear a quick little story before I go. And if you don't, that's fine. I will just ramble about memes or theology or everything that I do, and encourage you guys to check what I got going on out. So I'm gonna keep that. I think we got somebody. Okay, Larry and Trudy. Okay, Larry, what you got?
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's mainly basically on how I ended up on Salt. I was unhinged, and I was texting, communicating with this young lady, and the conversation was good. And then I asked her, like, what's your relationship with God? And she just kind of like lost her mind. She was like, well, why we got to talk about God? We need to have like a testimony or something like that. I was like, no, like, I'm just trying to find out what's your relationship with Christ. Like, I put that in my profile as something that's very important. I didn't it like it's up front, and so that taught me like that possibly I'm on the wrong platform, and it encouraged me to seek out like Christian platforms to do a little bit better. So yeah, that was my cringy experience.
I love that. That's crazy. Well, you said it was on Hinge though, right? So
yes, it was on Hinge.
I mean, that makes a bit more sense, but still, if you have it in your profile, if it's clear as day, and it shouldn't be offensive. Like, what's your relationship? Just say I have one or I don't. It's a yes or no question.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Like, it kind of got a little bit nasty. I was just like, no, I don't think this is going to work. No, trying to save it. And I'm like, nah, I don't think this is going.
Wow. Well, hey, Larry, I hope you have better success here on the Salt app. I mean, that's my ad for you guys. Y'all better pay me.
We are.
We are. Oh man, that's just me actually trying to just cover my tracks from weird remarks that I made earlier. But all right, Larry, I appreciate you, man.
Thanks, man.
All righty, and Trudy, what you got?
Oh, Matt, you got me laughing.
Mission accomplished.
Okay, well, I've got a really interesting DM story for you. So,
sure.
I avoid apps, and the reason I avoid apps is because being a person on a fixed income, apps can get really expensive. So I've been on like the Facebook dating groups, and one of the groups that I'm on, there was actually somebody that I did like for quite some time. I still do like him, but I think this is one of those, if it ever were to happen, it would be a miracle from God. Like, duh, hey, here you go. You can afford to do it. But because I'm in Canada, person is like on the other side of the world. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so we would always send like memes back and forth in the group, and we were always commenting. And
nice.
Every time he would see a meme that he knew I would like, he would always tag me in it, and I would do the same likewise. And we have very much the same sense of humor, or very similar sense of humor, which is great. But also, being in a generic dating group when you're older and still single is very challenging. Mm-hmm. And the pickings are slim. So I actually decided I'm just going to start sending, just talking to him in Messenger, because I figure we have enough of a rapport in the group that I think we would, if we never date, we would be great friends. And so I messaged him. And I told my cousin, because she's in the same group, and she's like, did you hear anything back? And I'm like, no. So I completely forgot about it. And then she reminded me a couple of weeks later, and she's like, did you ever hear back from him? And I was like, actually, no, I didn't. And what I realized is that the reason I didn't hear from him is because his Facebook is set up that because we're not Facebook friends, my message went to spam. So I decided now, because the group allows anonymous posts, I put out an anonymous post and pretty much said, listen, everybody, check your spam messages once in a while. You never know if somebody was messaging you and you have no idea that they're messaging you, and they actually might like you.
Very cool.
Within 30 minutes of doing that, I actually got a message back.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Judy, I got like 5 minutes. And I want to hear from Jen quick.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much for sharing. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
the laughs. The pity laughs. I'll
Don't
talk
get me
to you later.
started.
Okay. What's up, Jen?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what you got? I got like, just so you know, like I said, I only have like 5 minutes left.
No worries.
But I'd
Mine
love
is
to hear what's on
very
your mind
short.
quick.
So I still find it difficult to, understand the sliding into the DM situation.
Mhm.
If it's a dating app, I totally talk to strangers, but when they kind of message me in my messenger or Instagram, I kind of avoid if I don't know them. So recently I've been getting messages from one of the so this guy, we have a mutual friend from church, couple of mutual friends. So he's been messaging me, but I haven't met him before. So I have very difficulty talking to strangers. So I kind of tried to avoid him, but he kept on putting common topics. So I'm like obliged to answer him. And finally, one day I just said to him, it's a bit weird that I'm talking to, making friends through e-platform because it's something I've never done before. And I said to him, oh, maybe we will talk when you come to church and maybe we can meet then. Because I find it really weird when somebody messages through the messenger without meeting
Right.
in person. So that's just me. I think things have changed recently, especially post-COVID. So maybe I should adapt.
Well, I think that's fair, though. I think that, we should definitely have confidence in speaking with people online. But for sure, if we're going to date, we should also be confident in meeting people in person as well. So that's great. I think it's a good challenge, too, to anyone who might be, oh, man, what's the term? I always have these terms in my mind because I deal with Gen Zers all day. I think it's like terminally online or critically online. There's some people that just don't get off the internet and they have no idea how to do real life. And so I think it's a good judge of character to know that someone is able to approach you in person when they have the ability to. So I think that's very fair, Jen. So I validate your experience.
Oh, thank you.
Well, all right. Thank you so much for sharing, Jen. We're going to go ahead and come to a close here. I got like 3 minutes left. I just want to say, first and foremost, you guys are wonderful. This was so much fun. I can't believe the amount of incredible response we got here. I think there's like 50 people. I don't know. How many people are here, Matt? I can't count. I'm dyslexic when it comes to numbers. Uh-oh, I can't hear Matt. Uh-oh. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a close. I just want to say thank you guys so much. There were so many amazing people here, so many great stories, so many great opinions. I learned from you guys. If you want to check out more of what I do, check me out on Facebook. We do memes there, like a ton of memes on our Facebook page, Memes for Jesus. And also I'm on Instagram, at Memes for Jesus. I do a lot more community type stuff on Instagram that's more integrated with the reels that I do there. But if those of you who are in the chat want to check out the communities that we have, that's where we have so many really cool interactions with our followers. We have a community on Facebook, and we also have a community on Discord. So I pinned the link to those communities in the chat. It's memelordcommunity.go.studio. If you click on that, it'll give you 2 links to click from. If you're on Facebook more, check that out. If you're on Discord, feel free to join the Discord. We would love to have you. And we goof off. We also on the Discord if you are a Christian creator, we allow you to share your stuff for free in our creator share channel. And we're all about helping Christian creators get a voice. We use our platform of hundreds of thousands of followers to help build other Christian creators. We've been doing that since 2012. And so if you want to discover Christian creators or you are a Christian creator, I would love for you to join. Again, on Facebook, just look up Memes for Jesus. On Instagram, Memes for Jesus. And if you like deeper stuff, I do too much stuff, so this is going to take me a couple minutes. If you like deeper stuff, if you like deeper conversations, if you want to hear more about Christian critical thought and culture, I have a podcast called Meme Lord Monday, and I have links to all that stuff. If you join one of my communities, you'll see a crossover and overlap through all the things that I do. So there you go. That's all the things that I do. Would love for you to join any one of our communities and goof off with us, and possibly meet some people.